What is going on, YouTube? PPS back here. Obviously, with my boy Monotone, it is our Monday edition of Pass the Prop. It is still a part of our all sports sessions today. We got NBA and MLB on the docket today. I believe both of yours will be in the NBA. Both of mine will be MLB spots tonight. So we got a little variety. Monotone, how was the weekend? Did you do pretty well this weekend? How did everything go?
Yeah, it was a very, very, very nice weekend so far. Obviously, had a nice 2-0 day yesterday on the article plays. Just got mine typed up right before the show, so looking to keep that going. Yeah, like you said, I'm both NBA today. That's where I've been having some success, and the Nationals are on an off day right now, so I had to switch up the hat choice. I went with NASCAR because obviously everything that's going on with F1, I don't have that kind of money. I wasn't in Miami, but I was in rural Tennessee watching some NASCAR. So I got to represent my guys over at NASCAR. But yeah, NBA, that's what we're doing this week. I feel pretty good. I'm excited.
I love it. Yeah, it was a good weekend. UFC was fantastic for us. Soccer was very good as well. So, it was just kind of all over the place. MLB was okay. Yesterday was decent, not terrible, not bad. Just more of that, like 1 or 2 unit profit days. I'll take them anytime I can get them. But yeah, not the full one that I've been popping off lately, like Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, very, very excited. Again, guys, anybody who's in here, drop your questions in the chat. Drop your best bets in the chat. We'll do whatever we can to make sure we get to those picks and get as much information as we can out to you today. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. With your first play of the day, I can't say I'm upset about it. I kind of like where you're going with this one.
Yeah, we're starting with not the league MVP. I believe he finished third place in voting this year. Giannis over 30.5 points. We're getting this at minus 118. I believe that's on FanDuel that currently has the best price right now. I'm surprised we're still getting this number after last game. The first 2 games he missed this number, right? We were kind of like down on him a little bit. But with the shot attempts he was taking, he took 25 shot attempts in every game this series. So with that kind of volume, he was missing shots he normally doesn't miss in those first 2 games, right? That's just pretty much what it is. Giannis is one of the best offensive players in basketball, and he was just not making those easy shots. So as he did last game, we saw him finally kind of pop off. He scored 42, and I think that's more what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the series. You'll notice how these teams defend these stars is crucial, right? I've attacked Luka a couple times during this playoffs, and I'm going to do the same with Giannis right here because these teams aren't worried about these star players beating them. Their defensive strategies rely on kind of stopping these corner shooters, stopping these secondary scores, these tertiary scores. Their goal is really to limit kind of everyone else around Giannis, let Giannis score 30 to 40 and keep the game within reason. And it's been working pretty well for the Celtics. So like I said, he missed in the first 2 games, obviously, but the shot volume was there. That's what we look for, 25 plus shot attempts in every single game of the series. We finally saw it start to normalize a little bit last game, scoring 42 points. I think we're in tune for that kind of volume once again. So I'm going to trust Giannis in a very important game right here to get us 31 points.
Yeah, I cannot complain about that. Obviously, Giannis at home is a different beast, man. This is a huge game, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to give home court back to him. I've been seeing some people on the Celtics. Honestly, I wouldn't touch anybody against the Bucks in the Pfizer. They're extremely tough. And I'm still sitting on that plus 170 ticket for him to win the series, so I'll take it. Obviously, want the Bucks to take care of business today, but obviously Giannis is getting really whatever he wants, whenever he wants. And yeah, I'll be tailing this one for sure. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm still a Bucks fan back here. So, yeah, I'm gonna roll you right, guys, into some MLB. Rolling you right into my favorite guy in the MLB right here, Carlos Rodon, over 6.5 Ks. Facing a team I do not like to fade, right, in the Colorado Rockies, but we're not in Coors. We are in the best pitching park in the MLB here. Carlos Rodon, since joining, has thrown 11 innings in San Francisco. 11 innings, 21 Ks, and a 154 batting average allowed. This dude is just an absolute monster at home. When you don't have to worry as much about the ball going out of the ballpark, yeah, you can pitch with a different type of confidence, right? You can attack the zone, get ahead of guys early. Like I said, only 2 starts, has 11 innings, obviously 6 and 5 there. So he does get deeper into games. We're seeing his pitch count reach a much higher height here. And then we look at a lot of the starters here for the Colorado Rockies. a lot of high chase rates, right? We have a 30% for Grichuk, 24 for Blackman, 33 for Rogers, right? A lot of guys over 30% chase rates. I mean, even when you go down into like your Diaz, 35, 32 for Crone, right? There's still a lot of swings and misses in this lineup. And I do understand I don't like to attack the Rockies really much at all. But when you look at their numbers here, in away games, they're 25% strikeout rate, only a 224 average versus a 315 average in Coors. So obviously a huge letdown for them. And you're going up against a guy here with one of the best spin rates on that slider, one of the highest whiff rates in the MLB. Obviously faced off against the Dodgers last game, only had 3 Ks, but did go 6 innings allowing 2 runs, right? So, I mean, it's not like he didn't throw well. When he had the long inning, you could tell he was trying to get more ground ball, fly ball outs early in counts, and that's what the Dodgers were doing. But if the Rockies decide to do that, he's going to throw 8 innings. And you do not want to see Rodon for 8 innings. So I'm going to be rolling with Rodon over 6.5 Ks at minus 108. They're giving me almost even money for this on a guy who's only missed this one time, and that's against the Dodgers, the best baseball team in the league, I would say personally. That's my thoughts. But yeah, give me Rodon over 6.5. I think that we're getting the recency bias of a bad outing against the Dodgers. Give me that money.
Yeah, that's what we love to do here. I mean, honestly, at this point, it's just taking advantage of a guy coming off a bad outing. But I know, like you, most of us, because of you, hold those Rodon tickets, for the end of the year, whether it be Cy Young, strikeout leader, all of that jazz. And he's been killing it, man. It's nice to just see that CLV in my account. No research, nothing like that. Just a nice and easy tail. And when I see that 6.5, I want to jump on it, right? I mean, in regular games, in most of these series, we're seeing 7.5, right? I mean, at least 7.5 with some juice, 8.5 plus money. So the fact that, like you said, we're getting it not only at 6.5, but close to even money for one of the best strikeout pitchers in baseball is great. Like you said, it's a bad matchup, but we got to remember that even the best matchups in baseball, right? This is such a long season. There's so many games. It's not like this team is never going to strike out 7 times in a game, especially going against a guy, like you said, with some of the best stuff in baseball. So absolutely love this. Love we're getting at minus 108. Definitely going to be tailing. He's been, as you say, a wagon this year. So we got to keep that going.
Yeah, he definitely is the wagon of the pitchers. Trout, obviously, my wagon for the hitters this year so far. And yeah, what we can look at here is definitely how we've been doing on our Taylor fades, right? James Harden under 22, I believe he stayed under in that game, correct?
I believe
so. And I think I had the under of 8 as well. And I think he stayed under. I don't think he got to even 18 points in that game.
Yeah. Aiden stayed under. That was a good one right there. We called it. It was just too good to be true. I don't know how he missed, but he did. So good call right there.
Perfect. So let's get right down into our Pikkit Sports plays or Taylor fades of the day here. We'll start out with our number 1 most bet spot. I've seen a lot of guys on Twitter on this one. What is your thoughts here on Mr. Al Horford?
Yeah, this is the prop bet guy effect, right? When some of the big dogs, put out these tweets, people definitely jump on. And so I know there would be a good amount of people with this Horford ticket probably listening right now. And luckily for you guys, I really don't have anything negative to say. When you get as many rebound opportunities per game as a guy like Horford does, I'm always going to be interested. Especially, you got to remember, some of their other centers, Robert Williams, even Grant Williams, who they kind of use as a hybrid big man in these lineups, those guys will go way out to the perimeter defense. Same with Bam Adebayo, same with DeAndre Ayton, and that's why we're seeing decreased rebound totals for these guys, because they're such good perimeter defenders, right? It's such a new age in the NBA where these centers can switch out and go out to the perimeter. Horford is not part of that new age. He definitely should not be out there in most circumstances trying to guard these guards. He's 40 years old. The guy's got some age on him. So I believe he'll be mostly, like he has been most of the series, in the paint down there fighting for those rebounds. He's a good offensive rebounder too on the offensive side. So I don't really have anything negative to say about this one. I'm not rushing to bet it. I don't, rebounds is kind of a market I stayed away from in general in the playoffs, just because rebounds are such a variant, like a stat with so much variance involved in it, and it gets even crazier in playoff season. But I would lean over. I'll tail over 8.5 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm saying here is I expect the Bucks to shoot a little bit better than they have been. There's been a lot of
That's
rebounding
true.
chances, right? Because there's been a lot of misses in this series from both sides. I think the under has gone in every single game. I expect one of these to pop off. I expect one of these games to be kind of like that Suns game where it just went berserk, right? Where the rebounding chances are not there. And rebounds are such a hard stat, right? They're so hard to lock in on. I had Jimmy Butler points rebounds yesterday. The dude had like 3 boards. Luckily, he dropped like 40, so I ended up cashing it. But still, like his rebounding chances was like 14 before that game, and then drops a 3 for us. So I'm gonna go under just because I've been mixing it up and it's been doing well for me lately. But yeah, I'm gonna be under on Horford rebounds. Just to kind of mix it up. Rebounds are hard for me to get behind.
Yeah, I can't blame you at all for that one, to be honest.
And then we'll go to the golfer himself, Mr. Chef Curry here, over 25.5 points. I'm going to go over here. I think this is one of those games where the Warriors just kind of try to implement them early and often here. Obviously, with no John Morant, that's huge. I'm going to guess he's not playing, but the reason I also like it is because I don't see a blowout happening here. I think that this could. I think they're like one of the best against the spread teams in the NBA. If they played without Ja the whole year, they'd be like top 5 in against the spread numbers. So I think they stay close. But I think Curry's obviously very, very important in this one. I think that's going to be the spot. I believe Brooks is back today, right after the suspension. So I think that I would almost guess that he might go on to Poole here, because obviously Poole popped off again last game. So give me Curry over 25.5.
Yeah, this is tough for me because I personally think John Morant's going to play, right? I think everything is bullshit that's going on. I think it's exactly like the Embiid situation where, like, have you noticed that there's not an actually official injury report on what Morant has? Like, we don't actually know right now. They didn't even say soreness, sprain, break. They didn't give us any information. They're just kind of I haven't seen it. I think he's going to play. I think they're doing the Embiid thing. They're going to try to pull the rug at the last moment and put him in there. I don't think Curry's going to buy it. He's a pretty smart coach. That being said, with John in the lineup, this team is worse defensively, right? I think without John in the lineup, when they kind of clamped down like they did in the regular season, that stretch where he was out, they were the best defensive team in basketball. And it's nothing against him. It's not like John Morant's an ungodly, terrible defender, but with these deep pieces that they have on the bench, guys like Tyus Jones that can come in, Melton that can come in and instantly play very good defense, I think that would make it a bit harder for Curry. But since I do think Morant will play, I'll take Steph Curry to go over this number. He's been playing well this year. Or obviously he's been playing well this year. But I think we take advantage of the better matchup right here. Brooks is coming back. It didn't look like he was struggling with that matchup necessarily as much as, normal. I think Brooks is still a great defender. Still a Curry stopper. I think that's still a fair nickname for him. But it's a tough matchup, must-win game. Poole's been getting all the love in the world. I think it might be time for Curry to have a nice 35-point game right here.
I love it. Gotta make sure we show our love to the guys in here. Rafa, Jay, life is good. Kings got Mike Brown, 2024 playoffs. I love it. Do you have any thoughts on Horford 3? Byron Taylor's bringing up possible spots in Horford 3s. I don't know what the line is or what the spot is here, but what are you thinking here? Do you lean over?
I do lean over. I think the situation really is guys like Horford are just going to keep getting wide open threes. Like, these teams' defensive strategies are like limit the stars and let the other guys, do their best, right? So Horford's been getting some pretty good wide open looks. The volume won't always be there. He might shoot the ball 4 times tonight from 3. So you're going to have to bank on him getting 2 of those in, which is always a little bit tough. I do think there's some juice on this one as well, but overall, I do think Horford probably knocks down those 2 threes that you're asking for.
Love it. All right, let's get right on into our second round here of plays. Speaking of guys shooting threes, you're looking at the Grant Williams side of things tonight.
Yeah, Grant Williams has been really good this playoffs. I mean, just flat out, right? He's been great on the defensive end, and what I look for a lot is these guys that are earning their minutes on the defensive end. We don't always adjust their offensive lines, right? Because Grant Williams, truthfully, isn't the best offensive player in the world. That's not even his strong, that's not even his best capabilities, right? But we're taking advantage of the uptick in minutes. This guy's going to play 30 minutes every game locked in throughout most of this playoffs because of what he's doing on the defensive side of the ball. And what happens when he's on the court is teams are like, oh, Grant Williams on the court. That means we can spend more time guarding Marcus Smart. more time guarding Jason Tatum, more time guarding Jaylen Brown. And that's exactly what we see, which results in Grant Williams shooting like 6 to 8 threes a game because he's just getting wide open looks that you can't pass up on. It's not like we have the most aggressive shooter in the world right here, but he's hit in 2 or 3 games this series so far, and in his one miss, like I said, he took 6 attempts from beyond the arc. So if we're going to get a guy that's shooting 48% from 3 in the postseason to keep taking 6 attempts, then I'm going to keep taking him to hit 2 threes. And this is also minus 130 on most books, so that's pretty reasonable. You can play it as a straight, but it's minus 110 in the DraftKings same game parlay feature, which means you're already getting 20 points instantly. Plus, Drew Holiday has a steal in every game during the playoffs so far. I don't see that stopping anytime soon. If I can get it to plus 120, just adding that Drew Holiday steal in, I'll do it. I think this is worth it. I think both these guys cash once again.
I love it. Yeah, Drew steal is pretty much automatic at this point.
Yeah.
We got Jay Jerk popping in. Let's go. I love it. Drew bringing up, he has a question here. What website do you, I guess that means points, assists, and points, rebounds.
I think potential assists, probably.
NBA.com, right? Is that what you used to?
Yeah, just Google NBAstats.com and then potential assist. It should come up real easy.
Yeah, it's right on the front. It gives you like deferred rebounds. It gives you deferred, or missed shots. It's pretty nice. Whenever I want to go and look at those numbers for sure. All right, guys, my 1.5 unit play of the day is going to be Seattle Mariners team total over 3.5. I really like the spot. We're facing off against the Phillies here in this spot tonight. Ranger Suarez on the mound. Ranger Suarez has been this year. 3.6 ERA on the road so far this season, but 316 batting average allowed and a 579 slugging allowed on the road this season. So obviously do expect that number to go up a little bit on the ERA side. Also, looking against his numbers against righties, we're seeing a 545 slugging against righties and 611 versus righties on the road and a 429 on base percentage to righties on the road as well. We got a lot of pop here, right? You got Ty France, Julio Rodriguez. That's not even to count. Mitch Haniger's out for 6 months. Obviously, he's still missing here. So there's a lot of spots here in this lineup that I really do like. And you still obviously have J.P. Crawford. You have Eugenio Suarez, who's got pop for days. There's a lot of pop in this lineup against a guy here who does really struggle against right-handed bats and on the road. And even digging in a little bit deeper, the whole Phillies staff as a whole on the road has a 5.42 ERA. Really poor. 3-7 on the road. For their pitcher numbers there as well. So not really good there. And then if you look at Seattle, them batting at home, they have 13 games at home. They're 8-5, 261 batting average at home versus 204 on the road. So obviously huge splits there. And they are 9-4 to this number in their 13 home games, getting over that 3.5 mark. Big walk-off yesterday. Big comeback victory. I think that we're going to start seeing the momentum roll with them. Obviously, they're still under 500, but this team is underperforming, and they're starting to turn it around here. So give me this number. I obviously hate the Phillies bullpen like every single other Phillies fan. Suarez has been susceptible to power here. Give me the 3.5, minus 120. Lock it in, 1.5 units. I love the Mariners today.
Yeah, no, what you said at the end, too. Like you said, Suarez has been a guy that you can hit some homers off him, right? You can hit that ball 400 feet off him, especially with those home versus road splits you were talking about. Always something we want to take advantage of. Mariners have been, like you said, they've been underperforming a little bit this year, but they're obviously one of those teams that have a lot of smart people behind them, right? This is a team that a lot of the smartest guys in the industry are a big fan of, and that's for a good reason right here. I'm surprised we're getting it at only 3.52. That definitely feels one run too low for me. That's why I would imagine you have that 1.5 unit on it. So I'm going to trust you right here. I know you don't like paying that juice, but for minus 120, if I'm getting it a point lower than where I think it should be, then I'll take it.
Yeah, I would take this up to probably like 135. I take this up pretty heavily. I really like this spot. Like I said, Ranger Suarez, when he was a bullpen guy, you could definitely tell he had more velo. Movement was much better. Obviously, when you switch this guy to a starter, he's got to slow it down a little bit. He's got to conserve some energy to keep this going. So I do expect some points here, runs here in this one. Man, I'm off. But yeah, we got Jay saying America's team here. Let's go Mariners, man. Let's go Mariners. And then they get the job done today. I even like their money line. I think Flexen is going to be an interesting spot today. Flexen, obviously, is one of those guys, kind of like Pablo Lopez, who's just so much better at home than on the road. Because on the road, he's an absolute dumpster fire, is what the word I'll use. But at home, he's very good. He's got a pretty good ERA. He doesn't strike out a ton of guys, but I'll take the Mariners money line too. I'll probably have in there too as well. But does not look like we have too many questions. We'll go through a quick recap. If you guys do have questions, drop them in the description here or in the comment section. We'll make sure to get to those before the end of the show. Let's go into a quick recap here. Monotone, we'll start with your plays first.
Yep, I stayed in the same game for both of mine. We're starting out with Giannis Antetokounmpo over 30.5 points, minus 118. Next up, we got Grant Williams over 1.5 threes. Pair that up with Drew Holiday. Steal, that's plus 120 over on DraftKings.
And then we'll get to our Pikkit Sports top plays. Taylor fade.
Yep, I have a very calm, a very chill tail, but I'm a little worried. You've been right on a lot of these rebound ones, so we'll see. And then, yep, both of us agreed. Curry day over. We're tailing Steph Curry and the public over 25.5 points.
Yeah, I love it. Seattle Mariners team total over 3.5, 1.5 unit spot there. Carlos Rodon over 6.5 Ks. And I will be on the under of Al Horford, the over on Chef Curry tonight. Tailing those spots. Monotone, finishing up. We don't look like we have many comments or concerns in the chat. What do you got for the people before we head out on this Monday?
Yeah, like always, it's very early right now. I can check the time. It's a nice and sunny 10:04 here on the East Coast, which means go sign up for Pikkit. Code PTP, pass the prop. We're obviously giving you the most popular plays at 10 in the morning. A lot of stuff can change. I actually got some great messages this morning from a couple guys in my Discord, which was nice to see. I would read it off word for word, but due to some technical difficulties, I'm on my phone right now. But it was pretty much like, yo, this app is way better than I thought it was. And I felt the same exact way because, to be honest, I don't trust any of these apps in this industry. But obviously, we would encourage you guys to download it and check it out for yourself with code PTP. They'll give you free money, but beyond that, it's a great app, and we think you should sign up with us. You can go follow us over there too. Why not?
Yeah, no, it's really nice. Obviously, we don't ever. I mean, I know in my case, I've never partnered with anyone I don't use personally. So obviously, Pikkit's been pretty good. I like using their stuff. I like using their platform. So just helps you, gives you another tool in the toolbox to become a better, right? That's all we're looking for. That's all we want to do. It's all we're out here to do, right? So make you guys betters and kind of inform you on the new stuff, right? So we really like the spot. Hopefully you guys pop over there and use promo. Helps us out a little bit there as well. So I'm excited today. Again, we got a nice little slate here. I'm coming off of a day where I went 0-0 on my plays, both rainouts on the East Coast. So I got some making up to do here. So hopefully the Mariners and Rodon can stay dry and they can put together a good little spurt here. Let's get a nice little sweep. Obviously, hoping the Bucks can take care of business. Final thoughts, Monotone, before we dip out today.
Yeah, it's a nice sunny day. The rain is gone over here. I think it's where we have a nice, clean 4-0 day. I feel great about our picks. Rodon is just my guy now because of you. So, I'm already in on that one. Minus 108. Sign me up. I'm ready. It's a good day.
All right, let's do it. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Make sure to like the video. Check us out over on Twitter if you want some more free spots for us. So best of luck on your bets today. Have a good one. Peace.